Good afternoon. It is me again here on the coding train. My name is Dan. NASA KOP in the chat asks, does it start now? In fact, it starts now, or maybe officially it starts now. Welcome to the coding train afternoon edition. There was a full 2.5-hour morning edition of the coding train today where I completed, completed is perhaps not the most accurate way to describe what happened, but I did attempt to continue to work on the logo coding challenge. But that's all. I'm done with that. Won't be returning to that anytime soon. Just in case you weren't here this morning, I will show you. I will pull this up very briefly. If I go to logo, coding train / logo, this is the GitHub repo. There are some issues here that I would love help with and thoughts on. There are a couple of design pull requests, but I merged a couple things without checking them. So let's actually see. codingtrain.github.o/. This should be the demo, and it still works. So there you go. So this is what it does. It is a logo interpreter where you can type logo commands and it will draw them for you. And apparently now it supports some new commands that it didn't as of this morning based on a few pull requests. But I don't want to rehash that too much. What I want to do, I'm going to do something. Oh, this is going to be good. I'm just going to get right into things. Right into things. I am going to continue today the beginner's guide to machine learning with ml5.js. In particular, I am going to make a new video which will appear as number 7 in this playlist. In a moment, I'm probably going to repeat myself again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this previous example that I made, and I am going to save, which trains a model. I'm going to save that model and then reload it back into the sketch so that I don't have to constantly retrain every time I refresh the page, etc. So this has been a long overdue feature, or widely requested feature in the ml5 library. Let's go to GitHub. Let's go to issues. It might be closed. Let's look at, where did this get added? There we go. So this is the support. This is the pull request. Okay. So I'm going to leave this open. Okay. Yes, K. Weekman. Here we are again. I am streaming extra, a little bit extra. I've decided to come try to do 2 streams today because A, I didn't get to last week because I was teaching. And then also, I will just mention again that I will be next Saturday at ThinkerCon in Huntsville, Alabama, a place I've never been to, the home of the rocket. If any of you are going to be there, please say hello. Okay. All right, let's just get started here. All right, let's just get started. So what else am I? I've got an hour or so or two, some amount of time. I'm going to start with this ml5 save load model. I am going to also look at an example with working with the Google Quick Draw dataset because that is leading up to looking at the sketch RNN model in ml5. So many things. I got a long ml5 list of things to cover. I want to look at some new stuff that's been added for recurrent neural networks with text, sketch RNN, PoseNet, KNN classifier, so many things. So let us begin. Hello. I am here to make video number 7, which does not yet exist. If you have been watching this playlist, the place where I left off was training a Hold on. I forgot to turn on this part of my brain. Hello, welcome to a new ML5 Beginner's Guide to Machine Learning video. I am about to make video number 7. Right now, that's what you're watching. Where I left off, I looked at how you could train your own image classifier with images coming in from the webcam with a technique known as transfer learning. This is the example. So this example needs to be trained, but I could do this. I could get a lot of examples of me being happy. A lot of examples of me being sad. Then I can hit the train button, and once it finishes training, it is then going to be done, and hi. I'm sad. And this failed. I shouldn't have been so, I didn't give it enough. Okay, one more try. One more try. This time with feeling, everybody. Don't you just love watching the live streams where I just do the same thing over and over again? Hello and welcome to another beginner's guide to machine learning with ML5JS video. This is video number 7 in this playlist, at least that's where I intend it to be. And in this video, I'm going to take a step forward. I am going to do something that has been so widely requested. A new feature that was recently added to ML5 to save and reload a model. Now, what kind of model am I talking about? So the last example I left off with was this transfer learning example where I can train my own image classifier with images coming in from the webcam. So for example, I could say, here's a lot of images of me being happy. Is it pressing it? What's going on? Here's all the images. What are you doing? Sad. Then I'm going to train it. And then I'm going to come back. It's going to be done. Hi. So that works. But what happens now if I refresh the page? Need to be trained again. That model is lost. So there is a new feature in ML5, a load function and a save function, or a save function and a load function. This is what I'm going to show you in this video. Let's see if we can get it to work. That's it. That's all I'm going to add. So I've got the code from the previous example here to pull it up. And what I'm going to do, let's add another button. Where are the buttons? Did I use create? Yeah, I used create button, I guess. So I'm going to go into setup, and I'm going to, I forgot if these are called uke buttons and whistle buttons, because why not? I'm going to make a save button equals create button, save. Then I'm going to say save button dot mouse pressed, and I'm going to put an anonymous function in here. And I am going to now say classifier dot save. That's it. The classifier object, if you remember, is a classification object made from a feature extractor from the MobileNet library. Rattly mic. Sorry, timeout. Is the mic a problem? Is this better now? Okay? Is the mic okay? I kind of want to start this video over again. I'm waiting before I keep going to see that the sound is okay. Yes. 1, 2, 1, 2. My mic is clattering a lot. Is it still clattering? Maybe I better go back and redo this whole video. Nothing would make me happier. Let's actually see if this works. While I'm here, I'm going to redo it. Classifier.save. Oh, I forgot. Great. So this, I'm going to have this happen because I have to upgrade my version of ML5. Yep. Great. Okay, so that worked. Okay. How do I tell it not to show the warnings? Show, where's the preference for showing warnings? Because I kind of would prefer not to see them, frankly. Hide network, error evaluation, preserve log, show warning. Somebody will show me. If anyone in the Slack channel could tell me how the mic is going, I would really appreciate that. Show warnings, Chrome. Hide warnings in the console window is there. Top filter, errors, level, warning. Okay. So it must be, oh, I just don't see it here. Because, there we go. So let's, there we go. There it is. Got that. Okay. The mic quality is perfect now. Okay, apologies to everyone, but just because there were some mic issues, I'm going to start over. And so I'm actually going to do this and go back to here, take this out. Fresh. Okay. All right, here we go, everybody. So I realize that some of you watching might not have actually gone through this video tutorial, and the idea of ml5 might be totally new to you. Just very briefly, ml5 is a beginner-friendly JavaScript library for machine learning. It's built on top of Tensorflow.js, which is an open source machine learning library made by Google. Tensorflow.js is a JavaScript port of TensorFlow, which is C++ and Python, and that's about as far as I'm willing to go with that right now. This series explains how image classification works with the pre-trained model, and then how you can train your own model on top of that. So that's where I left off, but you could never save it. So now, here we are. Hello and welcome to another Beginner's Guide to Machine Learning with ML5JS video. Now, in this video, something very exciting is going to happen. If you happen to watch all the previous videos a while ago and you discovered this one new, a new feature has been added to ML5, the save load feature extractor with ML5 specs. So you can find the pull request here if you want to see more about how that was implemented. But the point of that is the following. Where I left off was this example. This is an example that loads a pre-trained image classifier called MobileNet, something that was trained by somebody else, explained in my previous videos, and allows the coder to use a process known as transfer learning to extract the features from that the model detects in an image and reassign them to new labels. So for example, I can make a very happy face and click on happy a bunch of times and wonder why my Mac is showing that weird window. And then click on sad a bunch of times, and then click train, and now we have to wait for a minute. We always blow the train whistle for train, and now the training is complete, and I go, hi. Let me go back and do this again. It's really bothering me that this clicking on this is was pulling that thing up. It's because I'm selecting the text. All right. I'm gonna get this. Oh, and I'm kind of standing in front of it too. So with this example, I can make a happy face and click happy. This is me giving it a bunch of examples of me being happy, and then me being sad. Now I can press the train button. It is training. And now that it is finished training, it will recognize, it will determine if the webcam is showing an image that looks more like happy or sad. Happy, sad, happy, sad, happy. Okay, so that's what the example did before. If you're still watching, what the problem with this example is, if I hit refresh, it's gone. It needs to be trained again. So what I want to show in this video, and boy, it's taking me a long time to get to it, is how to save. And really, there's just two functions we're going to add here, save function and a load function. So I'm starting with the code from before, and I'm going to go into setup. And this is where I made the buttons for sad and happy and train. I gave them like weird variable names, which don't have any meaning anymore. But I'm going to make a new button called save button equals create button, save. I guess I should make this a global variable just to be consistent. That might be unnecessary. And then I'm going to add a function to handle the event when the save button is pressed. So what do I need to do when the save button is pressed? Guess what? This is super simple. All I need to do is say classifier.save. I'm just saying classifier.save. Now what's going to happen there? Let's wait and see. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to oh, look, the save button is there. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to train. Then I have to wait for it to finish training. Once it's done, I'm going to hit save. And guess what? I got an error. Save is not a function. So I left this error happen on purpose. This is a new feature of the ml5 library. And if I go and look into my HTML, I can see I'm using the ml5 library 0.1.1. Maybe you're watching this. Maybe it's like right now it's like 9.4.3 and you're like in this like future world of ml5, but the current version is 0.1.3. So if I add that, I'm going to hit refresh. Now I'm going to really try to train a good model here. So let's train, oh, I don't have the ukulele. I do have the train whistle. So I'll just do happy and sad. I'm happy with the train whistle. And I'm very sad with no train whistle. I don't have a train whistle. I'm so sad, no train whistle. Now I'm going to train. So I gave it a whole bunch of examples, and something weird is going on here. Okay, let's see if this works. Happy, I'm happy with the train whistle. I'm sad, no train whistle. I'm happy with the train whistle. I'm sad, no train whistle. And I want to keep this model. So I'm now going to click save. And look at this. Look what has downloaded to the download directory. I'm going to go show in Finder and see. Look at this, 2 files. Today is 2:17 p.m. model.json, model.waits.bin. Okay, so let's take a moment to explain, oops. Oh. Let's see, why is the whiteboard not working? Loose cable, maybe. Check, check, no, check. Oh, there we go, okay. Let's take a moment to talk about what's in these files. So why is there a file called model.json and a file called, I already forgot, model.waits.bin? model.waits.bin. Okay, so we haven't really, as part of this video series at least, talked about the details of what a neural network is. But this particular machine learning model is a neural network. And a neural network has some kind of architecture to it. It has a whole bunch of inputs, and it has a bunch of outputs. And in this case, it actually just has 2 outputs, a happy or a sad. And the actual thing the neural network is producing is a probability of one or the other. Now, in between, oh, and the inputs is an image. So maybe every single pixel of the image is wired to one of these inputs. Then there are these layers. The data is going to be processed forward. Math and various things are going to happen to the data as it goes forward. And it needs to have some amount of hidden layers and other types of nodes, and everything is connected. And this is stuff that I have described in other videos, and I'll also refer you to the 3 blue 1 brown what is a neural network video, which is terrific to see more. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is this model.json is a file that describes the architecture, maybe is architecture of the model, and this model.waits.bin is a file that describes all the weights. So what I mean by architecture is how many inputs, how many outputs, how many hidden layers, and all sorts of configuration details about the architecture of this neural network that I've half drawn here in a pretty crude way. The thing that I'm kind of like not mentioning, because I don't want to be here for the next 17 hours going to every different road of detail here, is that the data as it's passing through the neural network, all of these different nodes between the inputs and the outputs and the hidden layers, all of these nodes are connected, and each one of those connections has a weight. You can think of the neural network as a thing that has like just lots and lots of dials in it, and it's trying to learn what the right setting for all the dials is to produce the appropriate happy or sad result based on the input image. So all of the numbers that store the values of all of these weights are all in this file. So this is actually a file that we could very easily go and look inside. It's JavaScript object notation. It's a JSON file. We will look at that. But the weights is really like the big thing. It's where like there's a ton of stuff. There's tons of these connections. It's many, many numbers. So it's typically stored in binary format, raw digital data, so that to sort of like have it be the smallest file size. So these are the two files that we need. Let's go take a look at those. So the next step for us is to take these two files. I'm going to copy them. And actually, I think I could probably just drag them into Visual Studio Code because I want them to be part of this example. Right, so we can see that they're here now. Now that I have model.json and model.weights.bin as part of my project, if I were using the P5 web editor, I need to upload these files. I'm not sure if that's actually possible. I'll have to look into that. And then if we look at model.json, for example, you can see, and I'm going to hit save, we can see this is the model topology. It's a sequential model, and these are the inputs. The inputs are 7 by 7 by 256, and somewhere, yes, ml5 specs. These are the labels, happy and sad. There's all sorts of other stuff. There's some dense layers, and here's where it gets the weights. And it's using TensorFlow layers and TensorFlow.js. So all of this information is in here. The bin file is not something we can really look at because it's in binary format. But we can know that all of the numbers, those weights are there. So now, guess what? We're going to go back to our code, and I'm going to look at the steps here in setup again. So in setup, the first thing that I do is I create a feature extractor with MobileNet. When that model is ready, hold on, thinking for a second. Oh yeah. Just time out for a second. I just want to look. Unfortunately, the documentation isn't up on the website for this, so I just want to check something to make sure I'm doing it correctly. I'm going to look at it over here real briefly. I'm just looking in the existing examples. There actually is an existing example for this. I don't know why I'm not pulling it up here. I probably should. Yeah, I think it's here, yeah. I just need to understand the order of this. Classifier, oh yeah, okay. That's interesting. Guess that works. The order of all this stuff is weird, and I feel like this is a thing we have to work on with the library. All right. I'm going to not worry about this too much. Okay. So once the model is ready, then I can go ahead, and where's that? This is the function for when the model is ready. I can now go and say classifier.load, and guess what I want to tell it to load? Model.json, and I'm going to say custom model ready. Custom model ready. Custom model is ready. So first, MobileNet has to be loaded. Once that's done, then the custom model can be loaded. Now look at this. Classifier load model.json. Remember, there are two files, model.weights.bin and model.json. ML5 is set up to work that if you just tell it where the JSON file is, model.json. It'll look for the corresponding model.weights.bin file in the same directory. There are ways that you can customize what those file names are and have them in different paths, but this is the simplest way of doing it. So let's see if this works now. Model's ready. Ah! Got an error. What is this error? That was sad. Maybe, but has 0. Let's look at 5 megabytes. That makes sense. That's right. It's definitely like weights there. Oh, it didn't find it. Oh, weird. Oh! I know what the problem is. Ugh, I don't like this. I think it's going to work now. Yeah. It did load. So the issue is the following, is that it doesn't, so this is actually kind of like a bug because it's not looking in the local directory unless you specifically do the /. But I think it would be simpler to let the user just do this. So that is a bug to file. Let me do that real quick. But I won't worry about that right now. What is this? Feature extractor model loading relative path. So is this, oh, look at this, is this, the following works. Making a live example live on YouTube right now. The following works. However, just referencing the file name and expecting it to be the local path doesn't work because it looks for model.weights.bin somewhere else. This is a minor detail because we can definitely get it to work. Let's get this error. And let's go back to GitHub here. Oh, weird. But it actually did look in the right place. Huh? That's weird. But this is a thing. I'm so confused. Oops. Oh, it would have worked. This is interesting. It would have worked. I'm not being careful enough. If I were running the server from here, it works. It works. because it's a subfolder. But I feel like it should figure out that it's in a subfolder, right? So, okay. So I got to change my error message here. Okay. If the sketch is not at the root path, I can load the model via a relative path as follows. But, however, if I look for model.json with a relative path like the following, it then looks in the root directory for model.waits.bin. This is minor for my example, but noting as it's an error people will encounter. Is it trivial to support looking always in? Okay. So I think this is, if the sketch is not at the root path, I can load the model via the current directory at the current path directory as follows. However, if I ask for model.json as follow this way, it then looks in the root directory for model.waits.bin. All right, so let me submit this. Yeah, let me submit this. I think this makes sense now. Apologies if this issue is weird, because I'm doing this in a live stream. Okay. So we're going to fake this here. No one will notice. Okay, we're going to fake this. So Mathieu, I'm not going to show that error actually, because that error is irrelevant to what I'm doing here. So let's see if I can get it to work just like this. Okay, because I think that'll get fixed later, I hope. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Oh, it's already, no, that's no good. So how do I, hold on. All right, let's try now loading that model. You gotta hit refresh. Model's ready, video's ready, custom model is ready. So it's been loaded, but I'm not seeing the labels. So it does, even though that model was loaded, I now have to figure out, I now have to tell the code to no longer really needs to be trained in this case. I might want to retrain and do fancy. I'm going to take out the training button. And then somewhere there's like an event where it finished training, where I said classifier classify got results. And so that's what I want to do now when the custom model is ready. So the events are as follows. Let's bring this down here. First, load the MobileNet model. When the MobileNet model is ready, then load the custom model. When the custom model is ready, start classifying the image. All right? So here we go. Let's. Yay! What did I have with this hand? I can't remember. No, it was this hand. All right, so this is working. Those buttons are now no longer relevant. So I could actually take all the buttons out. And this is now, again, whether you want to have one sketch where you train and save and load, or two different ones, but I'll just show you right now. The idea here is I did my training. I'm done, and now I have something that automatically loads the model. Yay! All right, so I hope this was helpful. You can now see that process, right? What is the process? Train the model, call the save function to download model.json and model.weights.bin, then take those files into your sketch, use the load function to load them both, and then start classifying. All right, so give this a try, see what you can do now that you spend a lot of time training your model because you can save it and see what you make with it. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in another ML. There'll be more ML5 videos. I don't even know what's next, but if there's a video that's next, you can watch it. Goodbye. All right, hopefully that can be made into something understandable. Wonder what would happen if, I'm just curious, what would happen if I retrained it? Yeah, I guess it retrains. Yeah, but then if I refresh, it's loading that previous model. Okay. Any questions about this? Will JS always load the setup function automatic, asks Tobias. So this is a feature of the P5 library. So I'm using the P5 library, and the P5 library always calls the setup function first. That's the way it's configured. But this is not something that will just happen in any JavaScript environment. It's here. It's specifically part of the P5 library. Okay. Copper asks, so save, not save all the model like in Keras? I'm not sure I completely understand that question, but let me try to rephrase it. I think what Copper is asking is this like saving a model in Keras? And the answer is yes. There's a lot of nuance to this because number one, it's saving the model in a particular format that is compatible with TensorFlow.js. So this model that we saved won't necessarily work with a Python Keras example without being sort of converted to what it needs there. There's also this sort of strange feature of it, which is that it's already like, we're just saving the sort of part that's on top of the MobileNet model. So I haven't like resaved the entire MobileNet model. I'm just saving the transfer learning piece of it that is plugged into the MobileNet model. Because it's still always loading the MobileNet model. And yes, K Wickman says, as far as I know, you can even import a Keras model into tf.js. So yes, if you want to import a Keras model into tf.js, you just need to look for the tf.js converter. This is a script that will take any TensorFlow or Keras saved model and convert it into TensorFlow.js. This is from the TensorFlow project itself. Does that mean it will work automatically with ML5? In theory, yes, but ML5 is kind of a subset of TensorFlow.js with a bunch of things wrapped to be a little simpler to work with. I kind of want to do that video again because I feel like I don't know if I hit all the right notes. I'm going to do it again. And then Mathieu can pull, because I feel like this is a really sort of important one. And then I will do the quick draw stuff. ASDFGHJKL space ASDFGHJKL asks, why do you choose P5.js over other JavaScript libraries? I love P5.js. I mean, it's a great question, and I don't think I certainly am not here to say, please, I think you, the viewer of this channel, should use P5.js. The reason why I use it is because it's a project that's connected to a project. It is a project, it's part of a project called the Processing Foundation, an entity that I've worked on for many years that I have a lot of sort of personal investment in. And the goals of that project in terms of being beginner friendly, being inclusive are values and principles that are close to my heart and that work well with the kind of stuff that I want to do in this channel. Is it perfect? No. Are there other things that you might want to use instead? Definitely, but it's a good foundation library for me to build a lot of stuff with. All right, I know I've been torturing you all, but I'm going to do this again, just to give Mathieu more material to work with. Now that I have a sense of what the issues are. So I'm going to go back to what it was originally. And I'm going to redo a couple things to make it less awkward. I am going to, let's just see here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to move some things around, I think, to make things less awkward. Is that legible, this font size? Is this legible? It's smaller than I usually have it, but this might be helpful to have a little bit more room to look at the code. Yeah, let me rename the uke and whistle button. Thank you. Let me rename those. Thank you. That is, I don't know why I'm a happy button, sad button, train button. Okay, so that's good. Any other suggestions? It's fine. All right, let me try it with the code a little bit smaller. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Right, I have to do this ridiculous thing again. I mean, Mathieu, whenever you watch this, you can take stuff from the first try and mix it if you want. But it's my hope that this will just be a cleaner version of that video. And apologies to all of you watching live when I make the same jokes again. Not that I made any jokes, not that any of them were funny, but if I did, I'll probably make them again, more awkwardly. Can you continue working on the logo project? Asked David. I don't think so. Okay. Hello and welcome to another ML5 Beginner's Guide to Machine Learning with ML5JS video. All right, so this one's a good one, I hope. I'm about to make video number 7 in this playlist. And the element in the, I forgot something. Well, I forgot that I have all of this stuff here already. And I don't want it to be. Delete, delete, I'm so in love with you. Delete, delete, oh, with my eyes so blue. Delete, 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 delete. Whew, it's getting hot in here. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to another Beginner's Guide to Machine Learning with ML5JS video. Now, in this video, I am going to unlock something for you. It's already unlocked for you, but I'm going to show it to you. That is incredibly powerful for what you can do now with ML5 that you couldn't do before, but many of you asked about in the comments. And what is that? It is the save load feature extractor. This is a new feature that was added to ML5 just 5 days ago. You need to make sure that you are using ML5 0.1.3 or whatever number in the future past that, but certainly this is the version of the library that I'm using in this video. Now, what does it do? So the last example, if you've been watching these video series in order, was this example. What this example does is it loads a pre-trained image classification model called MobileNet. And MobileNet is trained on 1,000 different kinds of things and recognizes puppies and dogs and birds and different kinds of objects. Transfer learning is the process by which we take that pre-trained MobileNet model and basically disconnect it from all of those labels and reconnect it to our own labels. For example, I'm going to make up a label called happy and a label called sad. I could certainly have more than just two. And I'm going to show it things like the train whistle is me being happy. I'm going to show it that train whistle a bunch of times, say happy, 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 happy. Now, no train whistle is very sad. I'm sad. No train whistle is sad. Oh, I'm spending way too much time on this because I haven't implemented the thing that I want to implement. Now I'm going to say train, and it's going to train, and then once it's done, happy, sad, happy, train whistle, sad. Okay, so it works. It is now learning to classify images in real time according to those two categories. But I'm a big spaz, and I'm going to just be over here thinking, oh, refresh. And I have now lost that forever. I no longer have that model. It's gone. The new feature is ability to save that custom trained model and then reload it. So if you're using this for like an installation and you're going to like take down the computer and set it up every day, you can save that model. You can imagine there's lots of possibilities here. So there's only two things that I really need to add to the code. There's a save function and a load function. And there's a bunch of pieces there, but that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to go here into the code, and I'm going to just add another button. Like I have a happy button, a sad button, and a train button. Choo-choo. I'm going to add a sad button. No, not sad. A save button. I'm going to call it save. And save button when the mouse is pressed. I'm just going to say classifier.save. That's it. All I have to do is say classifier.save. Let's see what happens. So I'm not going to train it very... Actually, no, I am going to train. Let's do a really good solid training this time, because this is the one we're going to save, as long as it works. All right, so let's do the same thing. Happy, 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 happy. Train whistle is a happy thing, a happy, happy, happy thing. Just me is very sad. There's no train whistle. I'm so sad. I'm very sad. I'm very sad. And now I'm going to train this. Weird how the loss is 0. I'm just going to like not worry about that too much. I'm going to hit save. And now, you can see that down here, by the way, that I did this a couple times practicing. Now, what it did is it downloaded, come on, to my download directory, two files, model.json and model.weights.bin. So those files will end up wherever the default downloads directory of your browser is. And the next step is just to load those files in. But before we load them, let's talk about like what's in those files. So there's two files. I said model.json and model.weights.bin. Okay, so what is a neural network? What is a machine learning model? What is the thing that we're saving? Well, in this case, it's actually saving the configuration of a neural network. Now, if you want to know what a neural network is, I have some videos about that, but I would refer you to the 3 blue, 1 brown video, What is a Neural Network? I will link to that in this video's description. That will give you a much bigger deep dive into those details. But if you look at that video, what you'll see is there's basically like a big diagram. And the diagram has a bunch of inputs. It has some outputs. By the way, in this case, we could actually say the outputs are just two, a happy and a sad. And what the neural network, what the machine learning model outputs is a probability, maybe like 80% of it being happy, and of that image being happy, and 20% that image is sad. So the whole point of this is to feed in an image, right? It's the image and maybe all the pixels of the image that are actually these inputs. It goes through this magic neural network thing, which isn't really magic. It's a thing that you can learn about. And then out the other end comes a guess as to whether it's happy or sad. Now, what is all this stuff in the middle? The stuff in the middle is typically referred to, and there are many different styles and flavors and kinds of neural network, but in the sort of zoomed out view, in general terms, is what's known as a hidden layer or hidden layers. So every input is connected to the output, but not directly. There are some amount of nodes, maybe 2 hidden layers, each with 4 nodes, and every input is connected to every node, and then every node is connected to every node, and then every node is connected to every output, and so on and so forth. So I could be here all day trying to do this diagram and draw every connection between everything. I'm not going to do that. But all of the information about here is what is saved in these two files. Model.json is a file that just explains all of these pieces, the layers, the outputs, the inputs, all of that stuff. That is what is in model.json. And in a moment, I'll just open up that file and look at it. Model.waits is an interesting thing. So the magic of a neural network, what makes a neural network work, is a number that's associated with every single one of these connections known as a weight. You can think of it as like a whole bunch of dials. So I'm tuning the dials, right? I'm trying to get the dials in the right position so that it really makes good guesses about happy versus sad. That's the training process. Once that training process is done, I want to save where all those dials are. All of those numbers are in this file. This is a binary format file because there's a lot of numbers, millions upon millions of connections potentially between a lot of pixels and a lot of labels and a lot of hidden layers. So this, you'll notice like the file that we saved is 5 megabytes because it's tons and tons of numbers. So it ends up, but this is just a very small file with a little bit of text information about how this is configured. Okay, I spent a lot of time on that. Hopefully that's some helpful background to you. Let's go back and actually look at those files. So now I've got those files. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag them into Visual Studio Code, which is what I'm using to code this right now. But you could be using any environment. Oops, they didn't make it into the right place. Let me try that again. I'll clean this up later, but I want them in this directory. Great. So you can see that they're there, model.json, model.waits.bin. If I click on this, you can see you can start to see like all the stuff in it. There's information about the input shape and is it a sequential model, and like what kind of algorithm are you using, and oh, is it dense, and it uses something called softmax, all this stuff. So this is way beyond the scope of what I'm doing in these videos, but if you're interested in more about these details, you could look at some of my videos that use Tensorflow.js natively to understand more pieces here. But you can see here, this is where it's looking for the weights file, et cetera, et cetera. And this is really important. This is really just the TensorFlow, what Tensorflow.js would do natively, but ml5 is helping with a little bit on top of it by adding these happy and sad labels. Okay. So now, all we have to do is load the model now. Okay, so we're going to go, we saved that model, and so the steps are, the first thing we have to do is load the MobileNet model. So we're not actually saving that original pre-trained image classifier. We're just saving the bits and pieces that are like hooked into it. So we can't hook into it until MobileNet is ready. So once MobileNet is ready, we can then say classifier.load model.json. Now, there are two files, model.json and model.waits.bin, but ml5 is set up that if you just give it one file, it'll look automatically for the other file in the same place. There are ways of customizing the file names and their paths and all that, but that's that you can sort of look into in the documentation. But the easiest thing for just to do this, and then I'm going to say custom model ready. So I'm going to write another event function, custom model ready, and there I'm going to say custom model is ready. So it's a two-step process. We have to load MobileNet, MobileNet is ready. Then load model.json with the weights, custom model is ready. All right, let's just run this. Zoom back out. And there we go. Everything's loaded, but I don't see any results. I don't see any results. Why? Well, this sketch was written originally with code to train. So I'm supposed to press the buttons and hit train, but now I don't need to train because I loaded the model. So this is where I kind of like, I don't know what you should do next. Maybe you want to keep two separate web pages, two separate sketches, one for training and one for loading. Maybe you do it all in one. You'll actually see if you go to the ml5 examples, there's one that has like a button that you can like drag and drop. You can actually like select files and load them and save them all in the same sketch. But what I want to do now is basically a workflow for, I'm done with the training, so I'm not going to ever train again. So I can actually remove all of these buttons, right? They're no longer relevant to me. The text that should show up at the beginning is just loading model. And then when the model is ready, I would say label equals model ready. So let's run this now. So now loading model, model ready. And now once the model is ready, all I need to do is start classifying. And before, I didn't classify until the training was finished. The training is now irrelevant. I could actually completely comment this out as well. And basically, I want to start training when the model is ready. Not training, sorry. I want to start guessing when the model is ready by saying classifier to classify, got results. And now, here we go. Loading the model is ready, happy, sad, happy, sad. And I can refresh the page again, and happy, sad, happy, sad. All right, so it works. We're done. Yay. Okay, this is the thing you can do now. You can train your own transfer learning model. You could do this with the regression example too if you watched that video. You could save it. So, I don't know, you could share models. Let's all share models with each other. Share your model with me. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm curious to see what kind of creative stuff you come up with. What kind of, the interaction that I've done here is like super awkward, like having to press the button all the time. And maybe you don't actually have to train with just video. You could load a bunch of images. So there's so many possibilities here. And I look forward to seeing what you make. And stay tuned for more ML5 videos. More stuff is coming. I don't know yet what, but more stuff is coming. Goodbye. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm glad that I did that a second time. This computer went to sleep for no reason. And there's very little going on in this computer. Oh, okay. So maybe that's fine. Somebody wrote a comment on my issue. Okay. All right. So I'm done there. Whew. Okay, that's going to be a good one to release. Now, we are going to move on to something totally different. What time is it? 3 o'clock. It's getting warm in here. Actually, so now I need to release this example. So I'm going to delete the model and the weights. I'm going to delete the model and the weights. I'm going to, I just want to leave this. I think what I'm going to do is leave this example with this stuff here, and then, this is tricky, comment out loading this, comment this out. So this example is now left in the training state, but it has the loading code in it but commented out. And so now let me just put this, online. Code from save load live stream. Save load ml5. So this is now, it should be in the website. I'm going to create a pull request here. This is the code from 11.9 live stream. I'm not sure if I should make this 2 examples or just 1. For now, the loading code is commented out. Okay, so I'm going to create this pull request, and it should be just these files. Yep. Okay, good, great. So that code will be on the Coding Train website. Just for people who are looking, there is also this example. I had it open. So this is the same exact example. I'll note though that this example uses a button that you can like select and then select files and load them. So there's a lot of other ways of approaching this. So here's yet another example with sort of more features that you can look at. Okay. All right. So now, what do I want to do? All right. I am going to go to the desktop. And I just want to get just want to have like a P5 sketch in that directory that I can kind of start using. And so let's get rid of everything here. And here. And index, quick draw. Okay. Okay, now, oh, did I minimize that? So I need the browser and quick draw data. And there we go. Okay. And then this is part of build your own API with Node. Where is that? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that looks like there's a discussion in the chat about why I'm using the a separate terminal instead of the built-in terminal in VS Code, and why not just use the VS Code live server. Those are all very good questions. Sometimes I don't like to feel like I'm just only using one thing. And then what if that one thing goes away? So, I don't know. Why is this camera keep going out? It's a very like loose cable or something? There we go. All right. Okay. Okay, everybody. Everybody settle down. We're going to do something really fun. Ooh, this is empty. This is the last thing I'm going to do before the weekend, and there will not be any live streams next week, unless somehow I figure out some magic way to live stream from ThinkerCon, but we'll see if that's possible or not. And all right, now I think I am ready. I have all the pieces that I want. This is actually, I'm going to make this a coding challenge. Maybe the sketch RNN stuff will be tutorial-ish with ml5, but okay. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm going to make this a coding challenge. People watch the coding challenges more than if they're in the tutorial videos. Okay, I'm just trying to do like my stretching because my back issues. Okay. You know, hold on, Mathieu. I'll make a I better make a good thumbnail for this. Really remind me to make some thumbnails. I mean, just like pose with the results. Okay. Okay. Hello and welcome to a coding. Actually, you know what? No. This is what it's going to be. Okay, I'm going to start with this behind me. Okay. Can I do a grand entrance? Hello. Hello and welcome to a coding challenge quick draw edition. Now, I have been talking about doing this for a very long time, and I'm excited to finally try this on my channel. One of my favorite data sets that is out there in the world is the quick draw data set. Now, here's the reason, one of the reasons why I'm interested in this is not just this data set of 50 million drawings, which is interesting and fun to play with on its own, but there is something called SketchRNN, which was developed by a set of researchers at Google Brain, and you can see some of them here who wrote this paper and explained how SketchRNN is a neural network, a recurrent neural network that learned about how to draw various things from the quick draw data set and then can try and imagine and create new drawings based on how it learned and can even interact and draw with you. So many possibilities. So this is where I'm going with this. I am going to make it, SketchRNN has recently been added to the ml5 library, and I'm going to show you an example. And I'm going to build that with SketchRNN ml5. But I feel like before we start making the artificially intelligent system that generates the drawings, let's look at the actual data itself that it was trained on. So first, where did that data come from? So, and apologies if I get anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. Because this is not my project. I am just inspired and enthused by it. So the Quick Draw project is a project, the AI experiment made by friends from Google. And it is a game that you could play where you say, draw a pencil in under 20 seconds. Okay, here we go.
I see marker or lipstick or crayon.
No, that's not really like a pencil. Is it? If I put an eraser here?
I see rocket.
No, rocket. I'm the worst.
I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Time is running out.
Sorry, I couldn't guess it.
All right, let's try basketball.
I see nose or moon or blueberry or baseball or bracelet. Oh, I know. It's basketball.
All right, I win. Okay, so you get the idea. I could be stuck here for quite a while. Now, what you might not, when you are playing this game, your doodles are being collected. And over 15 million of players have contributed millions of drawings playing Quick Draw. Oh, and I've used this before, right? I made a example with a neural network that tried to recognize your drawing. So this has been done on my channel before. But what I haven't actually looked at, what I looked at before was I looked at all the drawings as pixels. What's interesting about the data is that the data, which you can find here, information about on GitHub, is not pixels. It's actually the pixel paths of the people making the drawings with timing information. So you could load that data and replay any drawing back. And each drawing is, has the word that was associated with it, the country where the person is from who drew it, at least the IP address presumably, and then whether it was recognized, and then the actual drawing itself. So what I want to do, and you can see here that the format of the data is a whole lot of XY positions. XY, XY, XY with timing. What time was I at the first point, the second point, the third point? Then I might have lifted up my pen, moved, and started doing another one. So it's a bunch of strokes. So it's a little tricky because I can't use the word stroke as a variable name in P5 because stroke is a function that actually sets the pen color. But the idea is that if I do this, it's sampling a bunch of my points as I drew along that path. Each one of these is an XY point associated with a given time, and then there is an array with all of the X's, all of the corresponding Y's, and the corresponding times. Now, what I'm actually going to use in this video is if there are a bunch of different versions of the data, I'm going to use a simplified version of it because these are huge data files, but I encourage you as an exercise to try to do what I'm going to do, but with the non-simplified version, maybe with the timing aspect of it. But the simplified drawing files are the same exact thing, but no timing information, and also they have been sub-sampled, meaning, in theory, as the person is drawing, as the user is drawing, a lot of points are being captured. But maybe you don't need that level of detail, and that's often referred to as like pixel factor or scale factor, I believe, or epsilon value, I guess. So you can say simplify all strokes using the Rammer-Douglas Puker algorithm, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, with an epsilon value of 2. So these are available as something called ND-JSON. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you're probably familiar with JSON, JavaScript Object Notation. That is a format where you can store data. That's in JavaScript Object Notation. I have some videos about what is JSON. ND-JSON is a funny thing. Haha, it's hilarious. It's like the funniest version of JSON. No, but and it is actually it's a set of multiple JSON elements, each on a different line in a file. So it makes sense to do that. Each drawing is its own sort of like JSON object on a different line in the file. So let's go grab one of these files. So getting the data, we can actually go to the public data sets. Oops, no, I'm sorry. I just want to go to the list of the files in the Cloud Console, which is right here. I'm going to say I agree, and I don't want any email updates, but I accept. OK. Accept. So I'm going to go to full, and oops. I realize you can't see anything here, so let's try to make this a bigger. Let me dismiss this right now, and come on. I guess I'll make this smaller and I'll just zoom in. So these are the different formats. They're actually all the data in just like binary. There's this NumPy bitmap, which is useful for other kinds of machine learning, different things you might want to try. The raw data, but let's look at the simplified data. And let's pick, I don't know. Which model should I pick? There's so many. Banana, bandage, baseball, basketball, bat, beach, bear, beard. I guess I should do beard, right? That's kind of lame though. Birthday cake, is there like a unicorn? Maybe there's a unicorn. No, was there a rainbow? Yes, there's a rainbow. All right, so we'll use the rainbow. So I am going to, download this file. So here's the thing. This is a very large file. I had a reason why I was doing this challenge also. This is a 43 megabyte file. Now, I could just use some code in my client-side JavaScript to load that file and put it on the web. And at some point, I might show you some techniques for doing that. Stay tuned in the future. But I think this is a good case where my video series, the sort of module for my Programming from A to Z class, or the Program with Text class, building an API with Node and Express. This is a case where I've got this. What if I wanted to have every drawing? Some of the there's just millions of them. I don't want to like load hundreds of megabytes and gigabytes of files in my client-side JavaScript. I could write a little Node program whose sole purpose is to hold on to all that data, and my client-side JavaScript can just request it. So this could be because what I want to do is create an API out in the world for people to like get drawing information. But this isn't data that I own in a way that I would necessarily do that. We'd have to look at the licensing to see if that's even something reasonable to do. Where is that eraser? But what I can do is on my computer here, right? The idea here is like, I'm going to make a server. And the server is going to hold all of the drawings. And then my P5 sketch can just say, hey, can make a request, like a GET request. Please, could I have a rainbow? And then the server is going to send back just a single drawing. It's not going to send back hundreds of megabytes of data. It's storing all that data, but it's going to send back just one piece. The interesting thing is this server can easily just also run on the laptop. So, and I could connect to it. So there's a variety of ways you could deploy this and use this, but I'm going to do it all from this laptop. All right. So to run a server with Node and Express, you can go back and watch some of these videos where I step through this in more detail. I'm just going to start them in the directory in my console. And I'm going to say npm init. And I'm going to call this coding train quick draw example. and it's version 0.0.1. It is an example that I am making on the coding train, and whatever. I'm going to skip through a lot of this stuff. Yes. Okay, so now if I go to my code, you can actually see I have this package.json file. The package.json file has all that information that I just entered. This is the configuration file for my project. Node is the sort of central manager of this project now. So I need a couple Node packages to be able to make this work. I need to use Express. Express is what I'm going to use to handle that GET request, this HTTP GET request. So I'm going to say npm install Express. And then I also need something to load that nd.json file. So nd.json node, let's just, I've actually used this before, but let's look. So this is a node package for loading an nd.json file. So I'm going to say npm install nd.json. Great, there we go. And now, I meant to show you what is that nd.json. Oh, I got to grab that file now. So I also need, I'm just going to rename this to rainbow.nd.json. I'm going to drag it here into my project. So now this is a huge file. And so you can see that Visual Studio Code is like freaking out. It's like, I don't want to deal with this file because it's too big. But you can see that what this is every single drawing on one line. So it's like, this is my database, essentially. A database of rainbow drawings. Oh, I have a database of rainbow drawings. What could be better? Okay, so what was I doing? Back to the code in the server. Oh, I don't have a server yet. I'm going to add one. I'm going to call it server.js. Or I could call it app.js or index.js. And here I'm going to go back to this. And basically, I just want to do exactly this. So the first thing, I want to use this. I need the file system module. So I'm going to say const fs equals require file system. File system is a module that comes with Node. I don't have to install it. But I also want the nd.json module, which doesn't come with Node, but I've added it. And here we go. And we can see, by the way, that when I installed those, they are now dependencies in the package.json file. And now, there we go. Now this is, so what is this doing? This is streaming it. So this is really useful. It's a huge file, rainbow.nd.json. I certainly could load it just loading the file into a big string, chopping it up and parsing it. But when you have a big file like an nd.json file, you want to read it as a stream, essentially one line at a time, because it could be like a gigabyte file. I'm not going to, in this case, I'm just going to say, I'm going to make an empty array, and every single object, I'm just going to push into that array. But let's console log them just to see that this is working. So this is the stream. As it reads line by line by line, the nd.json file, it's going to console log that object. Okay, so let's go here. And I'm going to say node server.js. And there you go. You can see this is it. This is every single drawing. It's going to take quite a while because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them. But you can see this is the word, this was the country code, this is whether it was recognized, it has an ID. And then the drawing is in these arrays, which aren't console logging, but I can get access to them. Wonderful. So I now have an array that has every single drawing in it. Now, how do I get access to that? I need to be able to make a GET request to the server. So let's see how we would do that. So I need to make an Express server-y thing. Let's just look up Express node and go to the kind of quick getting started, hello world. The hello world Express example is all we need, basically. I'm going to grab all of this, and I'm going to put it into my code. So what's going on? Number one is I need to require the Express library. I need to create an app, which is calling the Express function. I'm adding the semicolons. Gosh darn it. I need semicolons to live. I can't do it without. I need to pick a port. So port, this is somewhat arbitrary, but I'm going to use the port 3000. And then I'm going to set up a route. So the idea, and I prefer to be a little more long-winded about this. This is using the arrows syntax, which is a kind of ES6 JavaScript syntax. And I'm just going to, I just have to do things the way that I do them. So there's two functions that I care about with my app. One is that I need it to listen on the port. So this, I'm setting up the server, creating a server, and that server is listening. Because ultimately, I got to get to that P5 sketch that's going to make the drawing. Haven't even gotten there yet. Now, I then want to set up a route. And then, when the user makes a request to that route, send something back. So in this hello world example, if I run the server and go to localhost 3000, it says hello world, but that's not what I want. I don't care about sending hello world. What I want to do is let me make a route called rainbow. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let a random number equals math.floor math.random times drawings.length. So however many drawings have been loaded when somebody goes to this route, pick a random one, and then I'm going to say, and this could be a const, I guess, and I'm going to say response send drawings index r. And I suppose I should call this index. So now, whoops, index. Let's rerun the server. And there is a tool called nodemon, which will restart the server for you. I'm going to do this manually. And then I'm going to go here. Cannot get slash because there is no route anymore at slash. But if I go to slash rainbow, there we go. There is the drawing. Hold on a sec. Time out for a second. I could have sworn I have this like a extension that'll format the JSON, but I guess I didn't. All right, I just installed a Chrome extension to format the JSON so I could see it. So here's a random drawing, and this is all the information. Now, all I need to do is have P5 request JSON from this route, and then render the drawing. And pause for a second. I think I'm just not doing multi-part videos this day. All right. Oh, there's been some new members. Thank you very much. All right. So now the question is, where do I run my P5 sketch? And there are a variety of ways. In theory, this is an API that anyone could make a request to. Whether or not I'm opening it up for other people to request to it or not is a complicated question. But one way that I could use it is just have this particular server host a P5 sketch in the first place. So the way to do that, if I go back to my files and I go to desktop, quick draw, this is where all the files are. I'm actually going, I have a P5 HTML file and a sketch.js file in here, but I'm going to make another directory called public. So these would be where I want files that are hosted by the server to live, public. And then I'm going to say something like in my code, I don't remember. Static file hosting express. Serving static files in express is just this. So basically, what I want to do is serve up the HTML and the JavaScript files as well. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to add this. So now, look at this. Now, and let's go to the P5 code and let's say, background 0. So all that this P5 code does is create a 100 by 100 canvas with a background of 0. So now, guess what? If I go to localhost 3000/rainbow, I get a drawing because I'm handling that rainbow route with by sending back a drawing. But if I go to just slash, oh, I didn't restart the server, did I? We restart the server, go to slash, there's the P5 sketch. So now my P5 sketch can finally ask for the server for the drawing. Okay. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, first of all, one thing is, by the way, that simplified data set, all of the simplified version of the quick draw data set, all of the drawings were simplified or scaled to 255 by 255 pixels. So that makes things easier to work with. I'm going to call the function load JSON, and guess what? I'm just going to say load JSON rainbow, got rainbow. Right? And then I'm going to write a function, got rainbow, that gets some data, and I'm going to say console log data. So this is the idea. Now, if you've seen load JSON before, maybe before I've used it for like load this actual JSON file, or maybe I've said load JSON from an API like WordNick. Now I'm going to the /rainbow route, which is local to this particular server. And guess what? I don't actually even need to restart the server because this will be loaded dynamically. So let's go here, and we can see there it is. This is the rainbow drawing. Right here, let me give myself some more room, and here's the drawing itself. So all I need to do now is write an algorithm to go through and draw this drawing. All right, we're ready. So let me make the background like 200. Let me say the drawing is in data.drawing. Is that right? Console log drawing. Let's look at that. Yeah, so this is the actual drawing. It's just 2 arrays because it was just 2 strokes. Now I am going to say for let I equals 0, I is less than drawing dot, let me figure this out. Array, this is an array, oh right, oh weird. I'm sorry, I'm lost. Oh right, okay. So this was only 1 stroke, that's why this was confusing here. Some of these rainbows, there we go, this is what I want to look at. I have 3 different strokes. So first I need to look at all the strokes. Sorry. So I want to say let, and I'm going to call it a path. So for let path of drawing. This is each and every path. Path 0, path 1, path 2. Then each path has a bunch of points. Path 0 has 15, path 1 has 10, path 2 has 6. I'm going to say for let I equals 0, I is less than path index 0 dot length, because and then the x is path index 0 index 1. Wait, no, path index I. Oh, sorry, this is confusing. And the y is path index 1 index I, right? So this is what I'm doing. I am looping through 0, 1, 2. That's the outer loop. Each path is 2 arrays. Path 0 is all the x's, path 1 is all the y's. I need to look at all the x's and all the y's, and then set a vertex x comma y. So I can say begin shape, end shape. I can say no fill, stroke 0, stroke 0, and maybe I'll say stroke weight 3 just to make the lines a little bit thicker. And let's see what I see. There we go. Rainbows, rainbows galore. These are everybody's rainbows each time I hit refresh. You know, one thing I could do now is when it finishes, I could just say like load JSON again. Maybe I would want to redraw the background every time. That might make sense. And here we go. This is a random drawing over and over and over again. So I could start to do things like request a specific drawing from a certain country. I could download different different models. Like let me pause for a second and grab another model. So let's get, what's a good one? Apple, asparagus, axe. I mean, cat is sort of like this typical one. So let's just do cat. So many. All right, I downloaded the cat file now, and I'm just going to put that in here as well. Whoops. Did I put that somewhere weird? No, sorry. Sorry, let me do that again. Delete. No. Shoot. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. Okay, so I downloaded one more set of drawings, the cat files. So the cat drawings, so I'm gonna copy that into here. And we can see now I have cat nd JSON. If I go back to my server, I could do, I'm gonna call this rainbows. And I'm gonna do a different one for cat. And I'm also going to do cats push object, and then I'm gonna make another route for cats. So now, if I rerun the server and I go back to my actual sketch and I switch to going to the cat route. Now, where was that? Here I am. I'm going to hit enter. Ooh, I got some issue. Cat internal server error. So what's going on here? Drawings is not defined. So I made a mistake in my server. Oh, this is, over here is rainbows.length, and this is cats.length. And I would have seen that error here if I was paying closer attention. There, now I've got cats. And now, let's look at a lot of cats. Oh, it's still giving me rainbows. Did I not hit save? Low JSON cat. Oh, low JSON cat. Whatever, I'm not being too thoughtful about this. Give me the cat. I want to see the meow meow. What's going on? We run the server again. We refresh this page. It's still rainbows. Cat, got rainbow. Somewhere I messed this up. Cat, cats. Ah! This is what I get for trying to code so quickly. This is supposed to say cat.json, cat.ndjson. Now here we go. Oh, I have to restart the server. And here we go. Finally, cats. There's a lot of different cat drawings. I really should slow this down. Like, let me just slow this down a little bit. Oh, here's what I want to do, actually. Oh, this video should really be over, but why not? You've already watched this much. You can watch a little bit more, right? I really want to draw the drawing in sequence. Now, I don't have the timing information, and that would be useful to have, but let's make it actually animate. So I'm going to add a draw function. I'm not going to add a page transition event. And so when I've got a cat, and I'll just change this, what I'm actually going to do is just set current, I'm going to just say set cat equal to data. So I'm going to take out all of this. Cat equal to data.drawing. So I'm going to comment this out. Let's think about this. And then I'm going to say let x comma y. And I'm going to have, I'm going to say if cat, then I now need to keep track of where I am. Let stroke index equal 0. Let pen index equals 0. So I need to keep track of two indices, right? Because I'm going to walk through one at a time, each vector of the first stroke, and then stroke's going to go from 0 to 1 and go through each of the other ones. So if there's a cat, the first thing I need to do is say, so if I'm going to say x equals, and what was this stuff? It is path. Oh, drawing, so cat index stroke index pen index index 0. Boy, this is really awkward about how it's like using just arrays for everything, but I'm in the first stroke. In the first, pen is not the right term. I don't know what to call it, vertex, but whatever. I could actually just call this index maybe. the stroke index and the index, then 0 is for x. And then 1 is for y. And let me just to see that this works, let me say point. Let me say point x comma y. And these don't need to be global. So let's see what this does. And so first of all, let's just run this. Oh boy, I freaked it out. It won't ever stop. Well, I think, by the way, I killed this. I need to build in a little more of a delay with these API calls. So cat is not defined, sketch.js line 12. If cat, that needs to be a global variable. So, and let me just say here, console log x comma y. Let's see, did I get an x comma y? Yes. So I've got that first point over and over again, and presumably 52 comma 48. I don't know why I don't see. I guess I need to say stroke 0, stroke weight 3. There we go. So there it is. That's the first point. So now what I need to do is say index plus plus. If index is greater than or equal to cat stroke index dot length, then stroke index plus plus and index equals 0. So this is me marching through them one at a time. So, and I don't have the y. Right? You can see that something's wrong here. I mean, this, let's see. Stroke index plus plus. I think this is right. Oh, well, the point of this is what I actually want to do. So time out for a second. I forgot the variable. Well, that's probably an old comment from before. Hold on, I need a little break for a second. Why did this not work? Something is off about this. Do I have these in the wrong order? Hold on. Right? It's going 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Ooh. There were 17. Oh, no, 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 no. I have these in the wrong order. That's weird. Oh, I have these in the wrong order. Like I think it should be 0 index. It actually works this way? Doesn't seem more like the cat. Oh, it's this. This is what it is. Of course. Right? Because stroke index, then 0 is the x's, 1 is the y's. Index is going up. And then this. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to see, but these are the cats. Okay, I got it now. All right. Let me go back to where I was. All right, I wasn't paying attention. If I look at how those arrays are organized, sorry. Okay, something is terribly wrong here, and actually I have not been carefully looking at how those arrays are organized. It's very confusing to like store all these data in arrays, but there are 11 strokes, and this stroke has 23 points, this stroke has 9 points, but notice that I have the order wrong, right? This is an array of arrays. And so basically, the stroke, the 0 element of the stroke is all the different x values, and the 1 element of the stroke is all the different y values. I had those out of order. And then here, the number of points is not the number of strokes, but rather the number of x's. So now, if I redo this, I can sort of see it drawing. Oops. You can see the outline of a cat there. You can start to see the outline of a cat here. Of course, it gets stuck at the end. It's giving me an error. So first, let me fix that error. So the error that I need to check is if stroke index equals cat.length, then I'm done. Then I'm going to say cat equals null. I am going to say no more to the cat, and there we go. So this is the drawing of a cat. Now, of course, I'm just drawing all the points. I need to connect the previous points to the other points. So I'm going to add a previous x, previous y. And then I'm going to say down here, previous x equals x, previous y equals y. And then here, I'm going to say a line between previous x, previous y, and x and y. Now, it should do nothing when those values are null. So now we see there, ooh, oh, wait a sec. No. When I get to the next stroke, then I need to say previous x equals, undefined again, and previous y equals 1. Because I don't want to I don't want to connect the strokes. So that's a little bit of an awkward way of doing it. It's still doing that, isn't it? And then I want to say if previous x. Maybe if I do this, does not equal undefined, then draw the line. Let's see if this works. Whoops. Sketch the line 19. I always have this extra equals there. Oh, weird. It's still connecting everything. A lovely little cat there. What am I missing? Right? I don't want to draw the line. These are undefined at the beginning. Oh, it gets set to here. So I need an else here. Else. Like, don't set it if it's at the end. Okay. There we go. Finally, we are drawing cats. Now, all I have to do is then, when I reset there, I can just ask for a new one. So let's ask for a new cat. And whenever I've got a cat, let's draw a white background. Let's make a little bit gray. We'll set it gray at the beginning. There we go. Now, here we go. We are now going to draw lots of cats. It should finish one. Oh, didn't get another one. Sketch on line 13. Cat is undefined. And then there should be no more cat until I've got a cat. Try that again. There we go. I don't know what did wrong. Ooh. It drew a bunch of them and then didn't get one. Where is it breaking? Is it like a sequencing thing? Right, like it's drew the cat. Oh. Huh. Is it asking for a new cat? Should I say no loop? And then when it gets a cat, say loop. Oh, stroke index needs to be set to 0. Ah, okay. Thank you to the chat. Wait, hold on. Mathieu, you can like edit out me trying to think about this for a minute. Thank you to Me I Am So Me and Louise, both in the chat, who just pointed out that my technique here is correct, but the issue is that I need to reset everything back to 0. So here, I need to set stroke index back to 0. And I think index will already be 0. Yeah, index is already 0. So yes, that stroke index needs to go back to the beginning. And now I think we're ready to enjoy a whole bunch of cats. Cat drawings! All right, thanks for watching this coding challenge with the Google Quick Draw dataset. Stay tuned for a future video where I show how to, what do I do? This is where I show how to create new drawings with the SketchRNN model, the machine learning model that was trained on these drawings. And if this was one of your drawings, thank you for making this beautiful cat, and I'll see you in a future coding challenge. Goodbye. This is like immensely satisfying. Like I could just watch this all day. Yeah, is it not finishing the drawings? Well, I should give it a little like delay. Like if I did set time out. Let me just make a function called new cat. I don't know what music I just played. It's weird. So now let's take a look. Now I just give it a little delay. What? 38. Messed something up. I messed something up with my, oh yeah. Yeah. I think that's right. Is it finishing it? I think it's finishing the cat. It does sort of seem like it's not doing the very last one, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's way too long to wait. People who draw it didn't finish it, yeah. All right, everybody. Now, it's not even 4 o'clock yet. Do I dare? Do sketch RNN. Oh, right, because the Google Quick Draw guessed it before the person finished. That's interesting. Yeah. I think I might be done for today. Did I do what I said I was going to do? Let me just look here. Sorry, I'm looking here to think about sketch RNN. So people are. This, by the way, is not. This, by the way, is not sketch RNN. Just to be clear, these are the actual drawings, not the imagined drawings. I feel like I think I'm done for today. What did I make today? I got the logo part 2 done. I got the logo part 2, the ml5 saved model, and the quick draw stuff. I think I want to wait till sketch RNN is in the documentation of ml5, so I will come back and do that another time. Plus, I feel like, yeah. All right. I could watch this all day. Let me make sure it's actually doing the last bit. Let's think about this. If stroke index equals cat.length, yeah, it has to have done the last one, right? So let's not do this for a second. And let's console log yeah, if it's greater than, I think it's doing all of them. I'm looking at this code. It wouldn't be skipping one because this is an index is invalid here, and then it goes up. It resets index to 0. It loops back around and starts over. Yeah, it's got to have gotten the last one. Just try going one further. It'll break and you'll be right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could say, or something. Yeah, it broke. Sketch.js line 18. Okay, broke. Interesting. So I think maybe it wasn't, maybe it was not getting the very last one of each stroke. Why is that? This crazy cat. Length plus 1. Index goes up. Oh, because I'm pulling it here. And then index goes up by 1. That doesn't make sense. I'm so confused. My brain is confused. Me so me is typing. This means the answer is about to come through. The last index won't error. Yeah, it won't error. It's just going to be undefined. Okay, so I'm good. It's the same. Right, okay. It'll just be undefined. Yeah. All right, we're good. We're good, everybody. My mental math is still correct. All right. Thank you, everybody. It is 4 o'clock. I think I am finished. I just want to is there any last little bits of stuff that I want to cover or talk about today? Pac-Man. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. So let's see. I should put this code somewhere. This will be, so let me do a little quick, just so the code is ready. I'm going to do this now. So I'm going to grab these 3 files. I'm going to put them in website, coding challenges. So I need to make, the question was this morning part 2 of logo? I think it kind of was. So this will be 122, quick draw. So that stuff goes in there. And let's change this to 1. And then also make a version 2. Sorry that if you can't see this. And then I'm going to go to desktop, logo. This should be everything for this version. So now if I go to I really messed up here because I didn't. Let me just, hold on, let me merge this. This was the code from save, load, live stream. All right, I'm going to merge this. And then, okay. And I am going to get branch quick draw. Check out quick draw. Git add coding challenges 122 quick draw. Code from quick draw challenge. Push origin quick draw. Okay, I'm going to go check out master. And what I want to do is, have an idea here. Where is this nonsense? There's some extra thing here that I'm going to just get rid of. Get branch logo. Get checkout logo. Get and hold on. Now logo 1, logo 2. Git add dot dash a. Moving logo code around and adding second part. And now git push origin logo. So I should have 2 separate pull requests now. Welcome to Weird Things with GitHub. So I should be able to pull request this. This is the quick draw code for challenge 1 22? Ooh, well. Wait, why is my, what sort of set of tabs is this? What? Have I been using 4 space tabs all this time and not noticing? Like, those are like 18 space tabs. This is insane. What is going on? This looks like 2 spaces. What's going on? Tab size 2, render white space, all. Oh, those are tabs. Why is it, what setting in VS Code is changing those to tabs? Oh my goodness. This cannot be. I forgot if I'm using Prettier. I switched everything in my workflow, but I never actually did it on this. Do not I have, all right. All right, let's see. Oh, this, I have this crazy thing. Indent with tabs. Indent size 4. Let's disable this for a second. Let's install this Prettier thing. Reload. Yeah! Okay. Oh, what a mess. Where am I? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Who knows where I am? I'm lost. I've ruined everything. I'm in the quick draw thing. Oh, I want to be in the website thing. Whoops. Oh, what a mess I've made of everything. Logo 1, 2. Oh, these are fine. Oh, there we go. Ah. Oh no, it's inheriting. Do I need to reload this thing? No. Prettier. Default to tabs false. Semicolons true. So these are all the settings. Oh, I've gone off the deep end here. Are people really watching me do this right now? Right, where is... Look at the chat, hold on. Tab. Oh, GitHub was rendering it as 6 space tabs. Okay, hold on. Editor tab size 2. VS Code Prettier Settings. Let's see. This. Yes, yes. Prettier. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So this. Okay. Prettier. Oh, there's all these things here. Okay, great, 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 great. Hit prettier tab width 2. So let's see. That's nice. Okay, that fixed that. And then what was the other thing that I want now? Is wait, hold on. Prettier spaces. Spaces. Use tabs. That must be right. False. That's the default value. This is very important what I'm doing right now. No! Wait, do I have to? Why is this one still tabs? Why is this one tabs? What have I done? What have I done to deserve this? Insert spaces when pressing tab. Text editor, auto indent. Yes. Detect. I don't ever want to use tabs. Let's try that. No. Oh, it's not even formatting it. Huh. Hold on. Why is this? Why have I lost my format on save? Format on save true. Detect indentation false. Restart prettier. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just restart the whole thing. Weird. All right, let's go to extensions, prettier. No. Format document. Okay, let's try this. Oh, it's not formatting on save. Okay, now it is. I don't need this though. Urgh. I saved it as a new file and it reformatted it. Weird. There, fixed it. This is fine. This is fine. And this is fine. I don't know what was wrong with that one file. This is spaces. This is spaces. And spaces, not tabs. Oh, that was scary. Oh, but my quick draw stuff. Ooh. So hold on. Hold on. Pull requests. Oh, I didn't actually make the pull request. Okay. So hold on. Now, everybody just relax. I can't believe like how much time what was it called? Quick draw? Oh, hold on. Wait, where's my quick draw? Yeah. We go to this branch. And then here, at spaces, tabs. No, this file too. What is it with the files that, what if I like manually, like, why are certain files not formatting? That's so weird. I've never seen this. Whoops. Format, document, format, save, format selection. Whoops. Oh, that did it. Format selection did it. I can't explain it. Where am I? But that did it. Right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's this because of this file, maybe. Yeah. Because I'm in this repo. That's probably why. It must be like picking up. Oh, it's picking up settings from here. Yeah. All right. That's got to be it. All right. I know the camera went off. All right, let's finish these pull requests, people. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Let's do the quick draw one first. This is the quick draw code for challenge 122. If we look at this, there, look at this nice normally indented code. Okay, now let me do this. This moves challenge 121 into 121_1 and adds 121_2 for the second part of the logo challenge. It shouldn't be merged without fixing the markdown file for challenge 121 part 1 first. So let me do that. And what is this? Get repeat. Oh, yeah, okay. What kind of crazy code did I write earlier today? Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm definitely done. I really want to do more, but sometimes you just have to know when to quit. I don't usually know when to quit. I would be glad to take any questions, a few questions. Thank you to new members who joined. Actually, okay, so let me do a few housekeeping things. I can't imagine that anybody's still watching. But if you are, I will mention that I am way behind on sending out stickers and books to patron and YouTube members. This is my goal. Everyone who joined November 1st or earlier, sorry if you joined in the last week, because I'm compiling everything. I've got to get everybody everything by the holidays. If you do not have something and are wondering about the status of it, please send me a message on Slack. If you're a YouTube member and you don't have a Slack invite, then make sure you find the community post, which has the forum to get a Slack invite. And also you can message @mathblank on Slack, who is doing the stuff. If you are interested in Coding Train merchandise, I might as well plug this just for a second because it's new. Actually, I am wearing right now, this is one of these shirts. It looks like I am disrobing. Don't worry, I am not. I'm just showing you my never forget. Oh, it's kind of like translucent. Never forget the this dot shirt. You can get your own never forget the this dot shirt at designbyhuman/shop/codingtrain, I believe. So you can see these are the various shirts and things. And I wanted to mention, it's hard to notice this, but this phone case here is $35. That's crazy. But this is actually designed. I should probably make this a default for a zip hoodie where the never forget this dot is on this side. All right, so I just wanted to mention that. Other housekeeping things. Let's see what other questions there are. What do you think about GANs, or generative adversarial networks? They are very interesting to me, and I would love to learn more about them and maybe do some tutorials about them. A wonderful artist who does wonderful things with GAN is Helena. Is this her name? Yes. You should check out Glagolista on Twitter, who makes all sorts of amazing GAN-related projects. Yeah. I'm not going yet. Waiting to see if there's any more questions. My mic is very quiet. That doesn't surprise me because it got moved around, but hopefully it's fine now. Thank you, Offec, for letting me know. This is the end of today's live stream. Today, I think I had like about 4 hours of live streaming today. I'm going to be gone for quite a while because of ThinkerCon and Thanksgiving. So apologies in advance for that. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch up on a lot of content when I get back. Oh, I have a lot of notifications here on Twitter. All right, I'll look at these later. This is the Coding Train account. I should do a Coding Train gift basket option for an Xmas shop. Sure. Or Sensei Cloco asks, are you planning to step up on your debugging game? What's wrong with my debugging game? I know. I could do better. Yes. No, I'm not planning to, but I appreciate your... yes. I think that it would be helpful for me to continue to develop better strategies for debugging to demonstrate. You mean you don't like my technique of having a bug and just sitting there going like this? You're like, maybe the chat will tell me what's wrong in just a minute. Tim asked, do you code any other languages than JavaScript? Yes. So I do a lot of programming in Java, specifically using Processing, which is a Java-based platform that you can download here. I actually was thinking of doing the quick draw stuff in Processing because of loading the big files. I didn't want to deal with setting up a server, but then I went ahead and did the node thing, so I thought that was interesting. Okay. Just use debugger in the JS file and Chrome will stop at that breakpoint for you. I should probably try that at some point. That's a very good suggestion. Thank you. Thank you, Juke, for your kind comment. What classes do you teach and what are they about code? All right, so very quickly I will answer Aki MC's question. Thank you to Luis Mies, who has added 2 pull requests. So I teach classes at New York University, a part of Tisch School of the Arts. There's a grad program called ITP and an undergrad program called IMA. And then online, I make videos for this YouTube channel. And some of them are loosely grouped into things that could possibly somewhat be classes. But I haven't really cracked that nut yet of like, this thing on YouTube is a course that you could take. It's really just a lot of content and hopefully inspirational and helpful. But in terms of the actual things being a course, the place where you can look, and one thing is I'm really trying to do is, in theory, I would like to continue to work on and improve the navigation here. So there are some, so in theory, I would like this website to be a place where it's easier to find the packaged courses. Right now, if you're looking for that, I think if you go to Coding Train, YouTube Coding Train playlists, and if I do all playlists, you can see, like, but this is a big mess of things. So I'm trying to figure this out. Some things are organized. For example, you can see here, these are the beginner JavaScript tutorials, playlists 1 through 7, playlist 8, etc. These are some playlists associated with neural networks and machine learning. This is an old, antiquated Twitter bot tutorial that probably doesn't work anymore. These are some old Nature of Code videos. Here's the beginner processing videos, Git and GitHub. But again, please, somebody save me and help me figure out how to organize all this stuff. Okay. Why not create a storyboard for the website? Yes, actually, so Matthew, if you go to the GitHub repository for the website, if you go under issues, there are a few different issues that are currently tracking this discussion. So this is one proposal to have the website organized as coding challenges, beginner playlists, and then other courses that are not for beginners. So that's one thing and then all the live stream archives. So again, this is like Niels Webb has done, and many other contributors, but Niels Webb in particular has done a tremendous amount of work. Niels Weber is a student and web developer in Germany. So thank you so much to Niels Webb, and I am certainly happy for people to contribute and participate in the development of the website. I haven't figured out really like a structure to do that, but it's happening on a sort of ad hoc basis. Tushar Mishra asked, last question, do you game? All right, you're going to be sorry you asked. If you go to youtube.com and you search for EOD Gaming, this here with 166 subscribers is my gaming channel with my kids, who I'm very conflicted about. But this video is really what I would recommend. My daughter and I played like snipper clips for an hour and 40 minutes. And it's a wonderful game. And hopefully we'll do this again this weekend sometimes, but we do live streams trying to play. I love this game so much. It's so much fun. Of course, I got a copyright notice because I used the snipper clips. Oh, look at this. And like, am I on YouTube Gaming? So if I go to like gaming.youtube.com. Whoa, look at this.
You got the plan.
Yeah. So someday this is just going to be even bigger than the coding train. Oh, I don't think so. All right, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to now stop this live stream and go on with my life. And I hope to hear from you, see you. If you're coming to ThinkerCon, let me know. I would love to see you there. I'm so excited about it. Okay, and is this playing at? What's fun is to put this on double speed. Come on, we can get it in that basket. Hold on, I have to. I'm sorry, I just have to wait. This took us so long. Okay, come on. Oh, am I gonna get? I'm probably gonna get deep copyright notice now in this video. Although you won't be able to. You probably can't really hear this. I can turn music off. Oh, so close. on, come on, come on, come on. No, oh yes, up, go on. Ah, there you go, no. Oh boy, oh come on. I'm like reliving this. It's so painful. I really have to go. Okay, goodbye everybody. You can go and watch this video on your own. I will link to it in the chat. Or somebody can link to it in the chat for me. It is this. We had so much fun. All right, goodbye everybody. I'm going to stop streaming now. See you next time. Won't be for a few weeks, so stay tuned. If you want to get an alert when I schedule the next live stream, subscribe and then click that alarm bell is the thing you're supposed to do if you want. Okay.